Oliver, what's the conversation like in the locker room when you guys are heading into that third period that you think got you guys going a little bit?
No, we just have to build on the second period. I think there's definitely some good parts of the game. Probably just giving up a few many turnovers and to get rush chances and so on.
What were they doing to get those rush chances?
Quick team, and if you kind of sleep on them, they just move the puck quick and they go north. So, yeah, you gotta, I don't know, try to get the puck north. You can turn the puck over.
When a team's struggling to score offensively, that you guys have been, can getting a few goals like that at the end carry over?
Yeah, I hope so. It should. Yeah, we need to figure that out a little bit. I think just got to bear down and get some traffic. And maybe it's not the pretty goals right now. Got to get in front of the net.
How hard was it for you guys to do what you wanted to do after the way the game started, with them jumping on you so fast?
Yeah, it's not easy, but I thought we stuck with it. We obviously dug ourselves in a little bit of a hole, but bounced back well. But yeah, we weren't in the game fast enough, I guess.
With Tarasenko scoring early like that in his first game, does that kind of create a little bit of extra intensity in the building?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Didn't think too much about it.
How do you guys avoid allowing a series of games like this to snowball into something bigger than it is? I mean, it's 3 now.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's, we don't want to lose games like that in a row. So it's something we got to figure out. And it is what it is now. We've lost 3 in a row, and now we got to go to Philly and make sure we get a win. It's a must-win in my opinion. So you just can't lose too many games in a row. It's not good for the team.
What did you think about your team's energy, just because of the fact that you were on a back-to-back?
I thought it was good. I mean, I'm sure the coaches will go over video, maybe just some things I'm not seeing, but thought there were some good parts. But again, there's obviously things we can do better, and they'll point them out to us.
Jordan, how difficult is it to do what you guys need to do when they get off to a start like that and they get the crowd behind them?
Yeah, I mean, you know what? It's tough to come back from a game when you're down 3-0 in the first. Obviously, we were slow. We gave them everything they had as far as turnovers, and they're a fast team. They're gonna counter. I like the way we battled back into the game. We gave ourselves a shot, but ultimately, it's tough to come back from 3.
What kind of adjustments did you guys make in the third period to kind of get some of that momentum going, some of that battle back?
I think we just tried to. We knew we had to be harder. We had to be harder, be quicker. Try and execute a little more, and obviously not feed their transition. So, it's tough to come back in this league down 3, let alone against a really good hockey team. So, I like the fight we had, but I mean, you can't start like that when you've lost the first 2 of the road trip here.
How do you avoid having a series of games like this snowball into something bigger? I mean, you've had some positive results in these 3 games, but the end results not been there. What do you do going forward?
We just got to try and stick to it. You're going to have highs, you're going to have lows in the season. Things aren't going to always be perfect. We got to try and get back to who we are. I thought for the most part last game we did. The last 2 periods here we did. We just got to try and put it together for a full 60. And then on top of that, I mean, we've had a little bit of trouble scoring. We've had some good goaltending. So we got to try and just put it all together and then start rolling again.
With Tarasenko scoring in his first goal there, it obviously builds a lot of momentum and energy in the building. How do you guys combat that when that starts happening?
I mean, it's not just that. There's the next one and the next one after that, too. I think, obviously, the circumstances of what's going on, but, you're not really looking at that stuff. It's more of trying to get yourself and trying to get this team going in the right direction and trying to push this game in our favor. So, those little things like that you're not really worried about.
What does it say about you guys, though, that you did battle back in the way that you did there late in the game?
Yeah, I mean, it's always hard to take away wins when you lose. I think this league is about winning and putting 2 points on the board. So we'll go over the video. We'll try and find some things, but ultimately you just can't start like that.
Jordan, were you happy with your ability to challenge Sturkin, especially net front?
You know what? We had some chances trying to get around him. It's tough to find things, especially with him. I mean, he's one of the best goalies in the league. It's hard to beat him straight up. I think we did. On Canada's goal, there's a good screen, and then obviously the breakaway, and then Tanev's. But we got to try and find more in around the net, whether that's just getting bodies or even just getting pucks to the net. That we had a lot blocked too. So we can give credit to their D, but at the same time we got to try and find ways to get it there.
Thanks, Coach Hakstol here. Well, Dave, how much much overlap did you see in your team's game tonight compared to last night in terms of some of the errors?
We got off to a little different start tonight. We did not get them stopped. This team, you got to get stopped in the offensive zone or on their side of the red line, and we didn't do that in the first period, and that cost us getting ourselves into a hole, which we spent the second and third trying to dig out of. We did the effort and the will during the second and third periods were very good. But we dug ourselves too big of a hole in the first period.
How much does that momentum from the early Tarasenko goal and then the goal that comes right after, how much does that change the way both teams are playing, and your team particularly?
You know what? I don't know that changed. I felt like, through that first period, we gave up a lot of speed through the neutral zone. That's one thing you can't do against this group. 2 or 3 of those came off of turnovers. 3 or 4 of the outnumbered rushes, and there was too many in the first. Came off of exits by them, where we didn't get a touch on somebody and get them stopped and slow them down, and all of a sudden there's numbers and speed coming at us, and they took advantage of it.
Dave, what did your team do to slow that in periods 2 and 3 and maybe counter on their transitional game?
Our pace was a little bit better. We had a little more physicality, and by physicality, it's not the big heavy hits. It's getting into guys and finishing and getting in the way of guys on the forecheck, especially against this team. They're big. They can skate. You have to do a good job in terms of cutting hands and getting into people, and we did a much better job of that in the second and third periods.
Did you feel like Jones got a little bit better as the game went on?
Man, Jonesy made a hell of a save right away on the first 2-on-1. I'm not going to nitpick the goals that went in. The fourth goal is a bounce off our defenseman on a deflected rebound shot. The fifth one, it comes through the crease, but in all honesty, I've looked at it a couple of times, and that's a play that normally he takes care of in the blue paint. It doesn't come through the blue paint. But unfortunately, our defenseman's skate comes through and takes his stick away. So, we did a lot of things right on that kill. They did a good job on their retrievals and kept plays alive, and they got the play on that one.
When you have 3 against in the first period, and whether it's on him or the guys in front of him, I mean, do you ever consider making a change there, or do you stick with him the whole way?
No, I didn't tonight. I felt like Jonesy was battling, and you saw that the save that he made at the end of the second period kept us alive and gave us a chance going into the third period. You look at that 2-on-1 save with 20-some seconds, 30 seconds to go in the second period. He was fighting and battling hard.
It's been 3 games. How do you prevent this from snowballing into something that could really impact your city? Do you have to put more priority on the next game or more?
No, we got to go back and play. We got to get a breather here. We got a quick day off. We got a 1 o'clock game in Philadelphia. So this group they've been pretty headstrong, pretty determined. So we got to get away from the rink for a day, which we'll do tomorrow. A little bit of an odd schedule coming back to a 1 o'clock game without a practice the day before, but that's the way the schedule is for us. So we got to get away from the rink for a day. We got to take a breath, and we got to come back with a real determined effort in Philadelphia.
You said before the game that you actually liked the pairing of Soucy and Schultz. What did you see from them again tonight?
Yeah, I think the entire group back there, we, as a team, we saw the speed get to us in the first period. After that, we settled things down. The effort level, the compete level, the playmaking was better. Not going to break it down to any 1 or 2 individuals. We're disappointed with digging ourselves a hole, and that creates a tough outcome for us.
Thanks, Dave.